Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Raymon. Thank you so much for stopping by. As always, I hope everybody is doing okay. In today's episode, I'm gonna talk about what we have created, so our IP site-to-site VPN. Today I'm gonna show you how to connect with multiple, like a laptop, an iPad, an iPhone, an iMac, or a Windows PC all around the world, how you can connect to your PfSense and how you can connect to your network behind it. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so we're back at the iMac. So just a quick recap on what we did. We installed a server with XCP-ng 8.2. We have a virtual machine running with PfSense. Behind PfSense we have a Windows 2019 server and we have a Windows 10 workstation. On the other side we have the server running in Amsterdam, exactly the same. We have installed XCP-ng. We also have a PfSense running over there. We have a server and we have a workstation. And this is connected by a site-to-site IPsec VPN. So in today's episode I'm going to focus mainly on my home server in Jakarta. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect an iPhone, a Windows PC or a laptop or an iPad with an IPsec tunnel. The IP is going to be 10.10.10.1 and I'm going to show you how to set that up. Since I'm using a dynamic DNS, that means I'm going to use the DNS hostname and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so we're back on our PfSense. I did receive a comment from Gerald Sebas. I hope I pronounced your name good, otherwise I'm sorry. He talked about the RF19 block rules. In my previous video, the installation of PfSense, I did not turn them off. So I'm going to go to interface. I'm going to go to 1, scroll all the way to the bottom. Okay, as you can see on the reserved networks, these are the two rules we are talking about. I did check all my clients. I could only find one that I had turned it off. That's the first client that I have. So I do not specifically know why I turn it on or off. My other clients it's on and I never hear something about it. There's no problems or anything that I can think of. So for the purpose, I'm just going to leave it on. And if we have some problems in the future, I'm going to turn them off and see if that fixes the problem. So for that, I'm going back to the home page. Okay, after that, I'm going to click on VPN, IPsec. The first thing I'm going to do is click on mobile clients. I'm going to enable the support for mobile client. The user authentication is going to be the local database. So later I'm going to add users to PfSense and that user can connect with the IP mobile client. Then I'm going to go to the bottom, provide a virtual IP address to clients. So I'm going to scroll back to what we made. So the IPsec tunnel is going to be the IP address 10.10.10.1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it in here. 10.10.1. Then I'm going to go a little bit to the bottom, provide a list of accessible network to client. I'm going to think that on. Allow client to save their X-out password, Cisco VPN client only. I'm going to click that on also. And I'm going to click provide a DNS server to clients. So what that basically means is later when we connect, we can route all our internet traffic over the VPN. Or we can just route a specific traffic to the VPN and all other internet users or browsing over their own ISP. So I'm going to provide a DNS to access to clients. I'm going to fill in the DNS of Google. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. I'm going to click on save. The IPsec tunnel configuration has been changed. The changes must be applied for them to take effect. Support for IPsec clients is enabled, but phase 1 definition was not found. Please click to define one. So I'm going to click on create phase 1. Okay, so the key exchange version is going to be IKE version 1. The IPv is going to be 4. The interface is going to be 1. The description is going to be IPsec mobile client. Client. Then I'm going to go a little bit to the bottom. Phase 1 proposal. Authentication mode is going to be mutual PSK plus X out. The negotiation mode is going to be aggressive. My identifier, because we are using a dynamic DNS. So what I'm going to click on dynamic DNS. I'm going to fill in my host name that I made with NOIP. Okay, so the pair identifier is going to be distinguished name. I'm just going to call this SolutionMAX. This is our group name. You need to remember this. For pre-shared key, we can just generate a new pre-shared key. We need to copy this for our IPsec client. So I'm going to call this also SolutionMAX, just for the purposes of this video, so it's easy. Then I'm going to go a little bit to the bottom. Okay, for the encryption algorithm, I'm going to leave the algorithm as default. The key length, I'm going to step it up to 256. The hash is going to be SHA1. And the DH group is going to be 2. Then I'm going to go a little bit to the bottom. Okay, so the net traversal needs to be on forced. This means every client that's behind the firewall can connect. As you can see, set this option to enable the use of NAT-T, the encapsulation of ESP and UDP packets if needed, which can help you with clients that are behind restrictive firewalls. So after that, I'm going to enable DPD. I'm going to click on Save. I'm going to click on Show Phase 2 Entry. I'm going to click on P2. Okay, general information. The mode is going to be tunnel IP version 4. Local network. I just only want the client to access the local network and route all other traffic over their ISP. So I'm just going to put it on LAN subnet. If you want to route all traffic over the VPN, just click on network and fill in the IP address of the VPN. I'm just going to leave it as LAN subnet. The description is going to be anything you want. So I'm going to call it IPsec mobile. Then I'm going to go to phase 2, the proposal. Okay, on the protocol, it's going to be ESP. Encryption algorithm, I'm going to use AAS. I'm going to deselect this one. I'm going to put this on auto. I'm going to go to hash algorithm to SHA1. And this one I'm going to deselect. The PFS key group, I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and I'm going to press save. Then I'm going to apply the changes. Okay, so now that we have successfully set up our mobile client, we're going to click on System. We're going to click on User Manager. We're going to click on this green button, Add. We're going to create a user. I'm just going to create myself. So Raymon with a password. After that, we need to save the user first. So I'm going to click on Save. Then I'm going to go back and click on Edit. And as you can see, we have now effective privilege. I'm going to click on Add. We're going to select the user VPN IPsec X out dial in. I'm going to click on Save. And save again. Okay, so now that we have successfully created our user and we created our IPsec mobile tunnel, it's time for us to connect and how to set up the IPsec tunnel in an Apple. I'm going to show it you on my iMac. So as you can see, this is my IP address, what I'm getting from my modem. Later I'm going to connect with Wi-Fi to my Wi-Fi modem. So it will give me a new IP address. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Apple logo. I'm going to go to System Preference. I'm going to click on Network. I'm going to click on this plus sign. No, I'm not going to do that first. First, I need to disconnect my Ethernet. So I'm going to click off. Click on Apply already. And now I'm going to connect to my Wi-Fi modem. As you can see, this is the IP address what I had. Now I'm going to refresh the page. This is my new IP address. So I'm going back to my system preference. I'm going to click on this plus sign. I'm going to click on interface is going to be VPN. The VPN type is going to be Cisco IPsec. I'm going to call this VPN SolutionMAX. You can name this anything you want. I'm just going to call mine like this. Create the server address. Since I'm using the dynamic DNS, so I'm going to fill that one up in here. Okay, so the account name was Raymon. And then my password. Then I'm going to click on authentication settings, the shared secret, and the group name that we did. So in my case, that was just SolutionMAX, and the group name was also SolutionMAX. I'm going to click on OK. Then I'm going to apply. Okay. After that, I'm going to click on connect. Take some time. And as you can see, I am connected to the VPN with the IP address of 10.10.10.1. So let's try to open our PfSense 1. As you can see, I am connected. So I'm going to log in. Not now. As you can see, mobile users 1. So I'm going to click on mobile user. As you can see, Raymon is successfully connected. Okay, so let's open a new browser and let's browse to, let's say, youtube.com. Let's see if that works. As you can see, that works also. So we have successfully set up our IPsec client on a Mac. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to do it on an iPad. Okay, as you can see, this is my iPad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the IPsec profile. So I'm going to click on settingen. I already connected to my Wi-Fi modem. So the next thing I'm going to click is on general. And I'm going to scroll a little bit to the bottom. I'm going to click on VPN. Then we're going to click on add VPN configuration. The type is going to be IPsec. And click on back. The description is going to be SolutionMAX VPN. SolutionMAX, sorry. The server is going to be my dynamic DDNS. Account is going to be Raymon. So the password, ask every time. So every time we want to connect to the VPN, is going to prompt the password. So I'm just going to fill in my password in here. Use certificate, I'm just going to leave it off. The group name was SolutionMAX. And the secret was also SolutionMAX. The proxy, I'm going to leave it off. So I'm going to click on done. Then I'm going to highlight the SolutionMAX. So the thing is in front of it. Then I'm going to click on status. And I'm going to select connecting. As you can see, it is connected, so I'm going to minimize this. And I'm going to try if I can open my PfSense 1. It's already there. And as you can see, I can also connect instantly to my PfSense box. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to connect it on a Windows PC. Okay, we're back on the Windows PC. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install a VPN client. So I'm gonna open Google. And then I'm gonna look for a program called Shrew. VPN. Click on download. A little bit bigger. Go a little bit to the bottom where it says downloads. As you can see, the first one, installer. Okay, let's open it. Minimize this. Shrew VPN client install, yes. Next. Click on the standard edition. Next, I agree. Next, next. Okay, click on finish. As you can see, we did get a new icon. Double click on it. We're gonna press on this add button. Okay, so we're gonna fill in our host name. So mine is okay. The next thing we're gonna, the rest I leave at default. The client, this also needs to be on default. We're not gonna change anything in here. Then we're gonna click on name resolution. We don't need to change here also anything. We're gonna go to authentication, and the authentication mode is mutual PSK plus XOut. Then we're gonna click on fully qualified domain name. We're gonna use the key identifier, and that was SolutionMAX for my. The remote identity we're gonna leave at default. The credentials, we're gonna go to pre-shared key, and in my case that was also SolutionMAX. Then we're gonna go to phase 1. Okay, for phase 1, the exchange type was aggressive. The D8's exchange was group number 2. The cipher algorithm was AES. The cipher key length was 256. The hash algorithm was SHA1. After that, we're going to click on phase 2. For the transform algorithm, we're going to use ASP-AES. The transform key length is going to be automatic. The hash algorithm is going to be SH1. And the rest we're going to leave at default settings. So I'm going to click on save. We can rename this. So I'm going to just call it SolutionMAX VPN. Press enter. I'm going to double click on it. It will prompt me for a username and password. So I'm going to click give in my username and my password. I'm going to click on connect. Tunnel enabled. So we're now connected. I'm going to open my Google Chrome browser again. I'm going to close this. And then I'm going to see if I can go to my PfSense. As you can see, I can connect successfully to my PfSense. So I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to reload this page. And as you can see, I cannot connect to my PfSense anymore. Okay, now that we are also connected, I want to see if we can open our file share from our server. So that's going to be backslash 10.8.254. As you can see, we can instantly connect to our folder share from our server. We can also open a remote desktop. Put in our password. Oh, wrong one. As you can see, we can also open a remote desktop to our server. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to disconnect. Session terminated by user. I'm going to open my remote desktop again. And if I try to connect, it won't let me connect. So that's also a possibility when you connect it with our VPN. So this is how you install it on Windows. The next thing I'm going to show you is on an Android device. Since I only have one Android device and it's running on Android 9, but I think it's almost the same on any Android device, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, before we're going to install it on an Android, I would like to show you another thing. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to exit out of this. If you have multiple Windows machines that you need to install with the VPN Access Manager, so the Shrew VPN, what you can do is you can go to File and you can export this SolutionMAX VPN file, so you can just import it on another Windows machine. So you don't have to go to the whole setup again from adding and filling in all the details. So you just can export it and import it. So that's what I wanted to show you. So let's continue with installing on the Samsung device. Okay, so I have here my Samsung device. I already recorded this, so I'm just going to play it and I'm just going to do a voiceover on it. So the first thing you want to do is swipe to settings, and from settings we're going to connection. I'm going to look for more connection settings, VPN, and then we're going to press that 3 dots upstairs, add a VPN profile. I'm going to enter a name, SolutionMAX, and then we're going to click on type, IPsec xout PSK. Next we're going to do our group name, was SolutionMAX in my case. Then we're going to do the IPsec pre-shared key, it's also SolutionMAX. Go a little bit to the bottom, we're going to fill in our username, don't mind that message. Then we're going to click on save. We're going to click on SolutionMAX and we're going to click on connect. It is connecting. It is connected, so I'm going to open a browser and try to see if I can open my PfSense. And as you can see, we successfully connected with our Android phone. Okay, so we're back on the PfSense. There is another thing I would like to show you. If you have multiple devices which you want to connect with the same user, we need to set that up in IPsec. Because every time you connect a new device with the same user, it will automatically disconnect the other device. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to VPN, IPsec. We're going to click on Advanced Settings. We're going to scroll a little bit to the bottom. Under Advanced IPsec Settings, it says Configure Unique IDs as, and we're going to change the option Yes Replace to Never. Then we're going to go down. We're going to save it. The changes have been applied successfully, and now you can add multiple devices with the same username. So that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to talk about OpenVPN and what the possibilities is with OpenVPN. I'm also going to show you how to install that on a Windows PC, an iMac or an Apple PC, an iPhone or an iPad, a Samsung device. And I'm going to add a new interface to my PfSense because I want to show you how you can traffic shape certain IP addresses. And yeah, I think that's about it. I would like to thank everybody again for subscribing and for your likes and comments. Feel free to contact me with whatever question you have. And yeah, if you like this, please subscribe and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.